I got. Don't you get that trouble, babe? So everything's back to normal, right? Get phones in charge. There isn't anything that could possibly go wrong. I mean, come on. Yo, last week's rock compared to this week's rock looks like Rock Ford. So basically what I'm saying is that there's a lot of crap. This is terrible. Let's start the show. Yeah. Everybody at 100 Serious. This is episode 97. This is the guy, and that is another guy.
Sorry, I was just finishing up some things.
Okay. What we're doing this week is our technical producer. What's your favorite video?
Oh, here we go again.
Now, Coitus, wasn't he the Mexican snake-headed god of something? Coitus Qual, or how do you pronounce it?
Coitus? Okay, I swear to God, I bet you there's some Montezuma's Revenge porn out there with crazy Coitus Qual.
Jesus.
The Aztecs would be willing to sacrifice ninjas. And why did you never mind that 2012 was last year? They could be like Mexico. Monday night, everybody in the Raw thread was willing to sacrifice me on Woo, so there you go.
What did you do?
Nothing at all. I simply pointed out that some people think I'm a little grating, and somebody said, well, we did that as a joke. You see, we deliberately trained Manchester wrong, and then the next thing I did was post a video of that Spanish train crash. So, trained, that idea was derailed a long time ago, but I
feel morally shocked by I can just talk to the microphone. Do we feel morally shocked by Chester's, just appearance? Let's do something back that's a little more the norm, and that's the news. So the first item we got here is WWE has made some changes to their wellness policy in July, according to PW Insider, which includes a new redemption program that allows talents with 2 strikes to undergo an 18-month treatment process to reverse one of those violations. Talents will also discuss their therapy, use exemption for prohibited drugs as long as they provide proper proof of need. There will also be a $2,500 fine for anyone who tests positive for alcohol. That's interesting. It's an interesting addition to the wellness policy. I'm glad to see if they keep up and up with it.
It kind of.
It's not like they're going to test you at 3 in the morning at your hotel room, right? The alcohol is probably in there. You know, if they test you
before a show a few hours.
It's really unique that they'd add that of all things. It's I don't know if it's a step in the right direction. I know these guys sometimes party pretty hard, but if it helps keep people off of getting to be drunks, I think it's a good idea.
The only thing I disagree with here is that a talent already has to have 2 strikes to get the treatment for drug abuse.
It's the ability for somebody to be able to remove one of those strikes. I believe, doesn't Randy have 2 strikes right now?
Technically. Yeah, and it's not so much you can get treatment on most mental strikes. It's if you have 2 strikes, here's an incentive to get treatment.
I also like the therapeutic use exemption. I'm sure RVD has like 15 prescriptions for marijuana that he'll be turning in.
Yeah, the alcohol thing too. I wonder if it's part of like somebody else said to cut down on some of the partying, and that recent report that Hayes had been suspended for offering drinks or drinking with frozen index, that kind of thing.
And you can't have people wrestling drunk. That's a good way for somebody to get seriously injured.
Oh yeah, pretty much. I mean, just check out Jake's the Snake's last match before he went into rehab. Ooh.
There are no glaring disagreements on this policy. So speaking of going to rehab, it seems that James Gibbs, the tennis player, is not Triple H's keys, replacing his former one who was Hayes, and replacing her as the new VP of Town Relations will be the former VP of Human Resources. Sean clearly, who is actually said to have zero knowledge of the product, they is a typical good-looking young executive that doesn't have any place to hire. Well, that's good news. There has been activity talking to Jim Ross to become the next English language commentator for the AAA promotion when they begin airing on the El Rey network next year. The impression is that Ross has a lengthy non-compete clause in his contract to prevent him from going to TNA, however. Ross himself says that he doesn't expect many of the things that a lot of other retired personalities can prevent him, such as various appearances and access events.
Oh, so we've gotten to the screw job part of the news. Jim Ross getting screw jobbed, and seems the fans will be getting screw jobbed from these guys coming in who have little or no knowledge of what professional wrestling is supposed to be.
Yeah, but now Vince has some new tits to look at.
Well, yeah, but wait, something or Jimmy?
Well, if you come from professional golf or professional tennis, the looks will not be returned if you get my drift.
Or no, I can't understand. He's just not pleased.
Yeah, let's say I was saying that to save myself the trouble.
It would be for scandal. It would be for scandal that Triple H is to be with his assistant.
Well, his assistant was a man. But you would think that joining a position like VP of Talent Relations could be, somebody who at least had a modicum of knowledge on the product. I mean, if John Ortiz did the less than depth that he did, actually being the wrestling
position you would want to promote from inside the company, definitely. Someone who has clear and present knowledge of the product. A professional wrestler who knows how, if he's retired from active competition, someone who knows the boys, knows the locker room, knows how to bring in new talent, that sort of stuff. That's who you want. I mean, with all due respect, who is this woman and what are her qualifications for this position? And who is this guy, by the way?
You think maybe somebody like who's been acting as an agent, like maybe Road Dogg, perhaps.
You would think like somebody like Regal would eventually be, up for a position in that relations department. Anyways, you think that Triple H, Triple H and Stephanie McMahon are reported interested in having Shane McMahon make an appearance at WrestleMania.
Do want.
So I'm happy to hear. Meanwhile, we just talked about Ryback and trying for a face turn and interview with Lesnar.
Do not want.
It's Goldberg versus Lesnar at WrestleMania 20 all over again.
Yeah, but then it's Ryback versus Lesnar. Ryback could just move from Lesnar. Are you kidding me? It's called food chain, ladies and gentlemen, and Ryback. While they would like to have a match with Goldberg to happen, they would most likely want Goldberg to lose, which he would most likely not want to. Apparently, Ryback did these spear and jackhammer last week without permission, and ring officials. I know you idiot.
You must lose control.
I wonder if Dolph Ziggler could be Jeff Jarrett's threat in this without permission. You think?
Oh, I think very much. In fact, I wonder if he's going to face any repercussions for that. Hell, JBL was half a mouthful away from saying something about Jeff Jarrett, and he either stopped himself or he got censored and verbally cut off by the back. And I was like, oh, jeez, that's going to cost him a little something.
I thought he did. I thought someone on the announce team did mention Double J, and it would make sense because they're in Nashville, or they were in Nashville, which is,
What happened was JBL did say something to the effect that maybe we got a bunch of surplus guitars from when Double J left, and then he actually said the words Jeff Jarrett, and it's like he was going to say more, and either he stopped himself or he got caught up somehow. So there you go.
There was a rumor that Road Dogg, speaking of him, is going to appear as the roadie with One Babies.
Oh, that would have been spectacular.
Yeah, but instead we got these Florida Georgia line hooligans. I never even heard of them.
Yeah, they're kind of band that, and this is really kind of true of all the country. Well, not all, but most. And they're kind of band that if you're in the country, then you know who they are, and they're pretty popular. But if you're not in the country, then you might have heard their song, but you have no idea who they are or anything. Although I didn't find that segment too offensive, because the song, first of all, it was the length of the song, and second of all, I think it may have actually been shorter than the Diva segment. So.
And the less said about last night's Diva segment, the better.
Except for the Divas match.
What match? They were playing fucking musical chairs, for God's sake.
Well, I know they're playing fucking musical chairs, but the match against Vicky Guerrero and AJ Lee were probably the most hilarious shit I've seen on the
You're right. I completely forgot about AJ and Vicky, which unfortunately happens from time to time. But yeah, and it was so bad it'll stick with you even if you don't want it to file. there was the musical chairs.
Can we just take a moment to just honor what a spectacular heel Vicky is?
I'm more willing to acknowledge, you think I'm stabbed again? Don't you call AJ a badass? How dare you? Or are you talking about Vicky?
What's that too?
Yeah.
Well, if you stare at it for a minute, you got a lot of crazy chicks. Speaking of deep, was Hulk Hogan made the claim he will be at WrestleMania if he has to buy a ticket. And also told a fan on Twitter that no, in fact, he will not be returning to TNA. WWE will be ending their classics on the main service and getting press release about it beginning January 31st, likely a sign that the WWE Network is finally preparing to launch. And how about this? Davey Richards and Eddie Edwards reported Monday to the WWE Performance Center for a week-long tryout before they head to Japan. Although they may be back at the center after their Japan trip and are apparently being paid while they're in Florida, even though they are still not officially signed.
So in other words, some technicality is holding off the American holds from being signed.
Which is weird. But if they've got to go to Japan for... What?
They were already booked for the cats. So this is
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, they got to go to Japan, and then hopefully when they're through there, they'll come back. But I am slightly going to miss the Classics On Demand service because I like that thing for all the old stuff that they... I'm really talking about very old 1980s, 1990s WCW and even ECW stuff. That stuff was great. I watched it all the time, every time when I have enough money to pay for it, of course. But I'm just gonna miss it. That's kind of sad.
I imagine, were they still doing the round tables? I haven't been able to. I have Time Warner, so I haven't seen it. But were they still doing the round tables with JR and Michael P.S. Hayes and whoever else?
Unfortunately, they haven't seemed to have done those in a little while, which is kind of sad because I like those too. But basically, they were just rerunning old everything from old ECW to old World Championship Wrestling, even as far back as Georgia Championship Wrestling, and even stuff like what's the Von Erich run territory again? I forgot that. World Class Championship. Yeah, World Class Championship Wrestling and stuff like that. I even saw this shocked the hell out of me. I even saw some old Stampede Wrestling stuff with me who lives in Montana, while absolutely was a gag at Stampede Wrestling stuff all the time. So that filled me with a little joy.
That is actually really cool.
I think they're really on the fence about saying the rules, because if they do, it's sort of an affirmation that
Well, even if they just keep them in the mid card, I don't see. I mean, they don't have to be. They don't have to be like major players or anything. They could be tag team all the time, or go after mid card belts after they split up, or there's nothing wrong with having those size guys and having those guys that are that size. Be in the mid card and do flippy cool stuff and.
Not just their attitude, if you don't have a big head. Kind of the attitude that, they are popular independent guys. They are people who could easily find work if they were released. And, we've had those reports about how they don't want people like that anymore. They don't want to take established stars and put them on their pedestal and then, them not care about it,
Well, I think their main problem is probably going to be finding a way for fans to distinguish which one is which.
It's sad but true, yes.
Well, all I gotta do is just have Uncle Cole determine. Uncle Cole, he can tell the difference between for roll front doors. I can't.
One's going to have to get this.
One's going to get a tattoo.
Okay. As long as
Let's
it's
wrap
not
this
something
news
cool.
segment out here. Let's wrap this news segment out here with something that I think it might be slightly relevant. The Washington Redskins in Major League Baseball are now offering their own replica title belts for sale. Weird. Vince McMahon said he would give the real thing, quote unquote, to all Cy Young Award winners. New York Daily News reports Alex Rodriguez was caught hot and heavy with a brunette that was not longtime girlfriend Tori Wilson. I'm sure that her father, looking down on her from heaven, would not approve. John Cena is involved with a new diet program called 10-Week Body Change, with Cena promising to try and follow all of those sign up on Twitter. Our Truth is planning to release a new rap album with John Cena contributing to it.
Oh, wow, so much there. Oh, jeez. Another rap album from Cena, really?
The Truth.
Let's go in order here. Who cares? It's baseball. Really nice of Vince, assuming he's talking about the real quote title. Let's see, more baseball stuff. Who gives a shit? Except for Tori Wilson. John Cena on a diet. Nobody cares. Our Truth with a rap album. Why would anybody think that's a good idea? Did I miss anything?
Okay. Let's do a little power rankings here. Alright. So you have four rap albums / songs coming out of the world of wrestling. You have the Wrestle Rock Rumble. You have R-Truth's album. You have Macho Man's album, and you have John Cena's album. How does that go?
Macho Man first.
Yeah, NJ's got it right. Macho Man first, then Wrestle Rock, then Cena, then R-Truth. Because as much as it pains me to say this, John Cena is a better rapper than R-Truth.
That's probably the career we all wish you would have gotten into. Yeah.
Seriously, if you compare, and there's probably the 4 people who listen to this podcast are probably about to shit themselves right now, but if you listen to a John Cena song right next to an R-Truth song, John Cena uses multiple syllable rhymes. He uses semi-quality metaphors and wordplay. He's not the worst rapper ever, because R-Truth is the worst rapper ever, because he actually used "Pop You Like a Pimple" in a song.
And right behind the door is Eminem.
Omega, I am dying to hear your opinion on this, because you are, as we all know, the godfather of rap knowledge over there on 420 channel.
The best wrestling rap album is Yo Repo Man Raps.
Does cannot process, does not compute.
That's it for the news. Let's get into the 15-minute time limit here. And this week on the 15-minute time limit, we have predictions for Survivor Series, which is snuck up on us pretty thoroughly here. So,
it was kind of funny, you know. They're so concerned, apparently, about pay-per-view buys and this and that. And up until this week, well, really, last night, Monday night, they only had 3 matches announced. And granted, they're the top matches, pretty much, but still, you know. And then when they add that, fourth match, the traditional elimination tag with the Rhodes and all those people. The WWE.com article actually said with Survivor Series already overflowing with action, and I'm like, well, no, it's there's 3 matches.
And they didn't add too many more this week. It's still a pretty gaunt card, if you ask me.
And yeah, there's 6 matches if you include the pre-show match, so that's all I'm saying. That's what, you know, it's not that every card has to be a 9-match affair, but, you know, when you only announce the main events, it's kind of like,
Like, who gives a shit?
well, plus the fact that in the last, like, 3 or 4 weeks, between the second hour and the third hour brawl, the ratings have dipped. And not just dipped, but like nosedived in some instances. So, is it, you know, I mean, there has to be, the main event isn't necessarily what people are buying, I guess is what I'm saying. You think they would kind of catch on this, but, you know. Anyway, enough about that. That pre-show match is in fact the Miz versus Kofi Kingston after Miz turned heel on Kofi and refused to tag him.
So basically, what you're saying is that we have the 2 king of the opening matches in this match.
Yeah, more or less. I think Miz will win because he did just to reaffirm his status as a heel, which is kind of weird that they're doing that since he has this movie out now on ABC Family. But I think he works next week much better as a heel and as an actual interesting wrestling character. I mean, as a pitchman and a spokesperson for the company, he works just as well as he takes. But I think as an actual wrestling character, he works better as a heel.
Absolutely, I agree with your assessment. We're going to move on. We're going to move on because everybody else we've stunned everyone else into silence. So the next match that we have announced on here is Natalia, the Bella Twins, the Funky Capitals, Eva Marie and JoJo versus AJ Lee, Tina Snuka, Caitlin, Alicia Fox,
Wait.
Rosa Mendez, Sana, and Summer Rae. What do you say from the bottom moving to the championships?
All right. Don't care.
Traditional Survivor Series elimination tag match, and I think that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, like an odd 7. Goddamn.
Which is,
No, what's your base label?
yes, very noticeably. A traditional Survivor Series is good. I mean, this is the Survivor Series. It should have traditional SS matches. The only thing is, this being a Divas match, will this turn out to be a very short schmoz, or will we actually see some wrestling acumen out of these ladies in something that's less than 5
It's-
minutes? Which would
it's-
be nice, but I don't think it's going to happen.
It's a Divas match, Net Jester. Let me tell you how it's going to go. Let's see. Eva Marie's going to get eliminated shortly into it. And then probably Alicia Fox. And then JoJo. And then Snuka. Mendez. Ray, Oksana. Oh, nope, Natty gets eliminated early too. Anyways, it's going to come down to the Bellas, one of the Bellas, versus AJ Lee, and one of the Bellas wins it.
Okay, you could be right. But there's one thing I just hit me right now that we haven't said about this match, just to identify for our millions and millions of wrestlers out there. This is the cast of Total Divas versus the rest of the WWE Diva roster, which is what they're playing it as.
And that's why the Bellas are going to win, because Total Divas has to win, because they're the good guys. They're on the reality TV show, and everybody else is just jealous. And also, one of the Bellas is fucking the top guy, and the other Bella is banging a guy who's really hot right now. So, you know, there's that.
Yeah, that's true. The key word in this match is elimination. I wouldn't be surprised if halfway through the week they realize that they said elimination and they change it. And it's actually one fall to a finish.
Oh.
They do that.
Yes, they would.
Yeah.
And then it's not even a Survivor Series match, it's just a goddamn tag match.
Yep.
Well, it's really not even that anyway.
Can we move on?
Yeah, we're going to move on here to something a little better. Cody Rhodes and Goldust, the Usos and Rey Mysterio, which is the Shield of the Real Americans.
Why?
Because they need something to put the faces over.
Well, the thing
But-
is, why can't this be the Shield and the Wyatts again, teaming up against the tag champs and the Usos?
Because the Wyatts got beef with Punk and Bryan,
Ma-
and that match next.
My Wyatts.
I mean, your cousins?
Yes.
I have beef with the fact that, and this is the first time they've done this, I have beef with the fact that, you know, Survivor Series is built on multi-man tag matches, and what do they do for the main event of the Raw right before it? They do a multi-man tag match. Now, granted, it's not the same match that we're going to see in Survivor Series, but it had almost all the elements that a great multi-man tag match does have. You know, the collusion between the heels, the sort of, you know, will they, won't they get along type thing. All the finishers they did at the end, you know.
In other words, yes, that could have been a great match for the pay-per-view. It could have made you money, and you gave it away free. Why now?
The only logic I can think is that maybe since that match was so exciting, people are going to think, well, the matches on the pay-per-view will be just as or more exciting. I guess that's the logic. But
Yeah, in the past we've ran straight into that brick wall of logic.
I don't know, I just... you could tell that this is a match that out of the two, you know, from the mid-card, quote-unquote, if you will, out of the two matches, I think that the Shield and the Real Americans are going to be the ones that are going to be left. Okay, here's one little thing that we need to know. Will there be a lone survivor? Because last year, if you all remember correctly, Cody Rhodes was a lone survivor. Do you think he can repeat that?
I don't think it will repeat, but it would be pretty cool.
no, I actually think that Ray will win, and he'll do it by pitting one of the Real Americans, because I think they might set something up there. And I also think they want to keep it out of the match for as long as possible, because there was kind of a controversy as to whether he was or was not actually lifted on Raw.
He was. I totally saw it, and I was like, hey, why are you coming back? You still got a gimp like that.
The caramel midget is back and he's lifting worse than,
I'm calling it now. Ray Ray wins it after he 619s the entire heel team on the middle rope on the side closest to the announce table. Oh, like that stopped him before. They'll sell it anyways. Let's talk Punk and Bryan versus the Wyatt family.
Yeah. Like I said, it's beginning to seem like Punk and Bryan are going to become tag team champions again. Dare I say?
Well, they're very desperate to keep them both out of the main program. If this is actually about elevating the Wyatts and maybe even keeping this going a little bit, then I would think that the Wyatts have to win.
You'd think. I would assume that the Wyatts would have to win because these two can afford a loss. Absolutely.
I'm calling it either Lowell faces win after a spectacular match. I don't think there's any denying that. It's going to be a great match. Either the faces are going to win or the heels are going to win through some sort of shenanigans. One of them's going to distract the ref while somebody gets hit with a chair or some crap. Because heels cannot win clean in the WWE. Not when it matters. Not against, like, important guys.
Speaking of not winning against important guys, John Cena versus Alberto Del Rio in a singles match for the World Heavyweight Championship.
Cena retains.
Yeah, well, the only good thing about this is he's holding the World Heavyweight Championship belts, which is now finally getting some respect for WWE. Other than that, what else can you say?
That's kind of true.
I think Del Rio will bust out another pretty good pay-per-view effort. But once again, it will be overshadowed by the fact that he uses it fairly short.
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay, then going from big disappointments to even bigger disappointments.
Well,
It's the big slow.
I'm calling it now. Big wins. I don't know how much longer he has left, and I think they would probably put the title on him just to say, "Here's the title, buddy. You did good."
For the record, let's just quickly say that it will be the WWE Championship on the line as champion Randy Orton versus The Big Show in a singles match.
Yeah, I don't think that they will win it. I think Randy Orton is going to win due to shenanigans by the Authority.
Oh yeah, if the Shield doesn't show up, I'd be shocked.
Well, they did make it sound like they were trying to leave Randy on his own so he could prove himself, but I guess that does seem like the kind of red herring they would throw out there, so you're like, oh, I'm so surprised.
That's right, they did say that.
So it'll happen anyway. At least I hope it is, because if not, then this whole, everybody but the Authority kind of gets theirs. This sort of, you know what I mean? Like, like Big Show was the guy who kind of finally went behind the authorities' back, but now all of a sudden they're talking on Orton, who was supposed to be,
Yeah, it's terrible. This whole, they don't have a strong person to go against them. They made Big Show to be out to be some sort of like, a Stone Cold Light or a Stone Cold filler, but like he doesn't have the heat that he did. And the person that was supposed to be quote the Stone Cold of this entire thing, they've currently gotten a tag match with the Wyatts. Look at you, CM Punk. Bet you didn't expect me to say that.
So, sorta. I mean, he is the big loudmouth on campus.
Alright, so that's it for 15-minute time limit. Yank, do we have time for a song?
I think we might have just enough time for a song. Let's go with Troglodyte. Of course, by Shining Wizzato, shiningwizzato.bandcamp.com. The best wrestling music on the interbuts. Go listen to it. It is fantastic. Buy his stuff. Here is Troglodyte. Alright, folks, that is it for the first half. Stay tuned, we'll be right back with the kayfabe issues.